Before there was TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, or any social media channel for that matter, she'd found the formula for going viral. The outfits, the hair, even the skin color would cause controversy. What's the story beyond the headlines? My guest is Carlene the Dancehall Queen Smith. I'm Archibald Gordon. Carlene, thanks for joining us on Profile.
You're most welcome.
And thank you for agreeing to the interview. How are you?
I am great. I am great. I am great.
And it's hard to call you Carlene without feeling like it's an incomplete name. Like Carlene, the dancehall queen, is the entire name. Such is the sort of persona that you've created, yes. That sometimes it's hard to even remember your last name outside of that. You have a name by itself, Carlene. And when you look back at all that you've accomplished to become that kind of household name, how do you feel?
Excellent, great. It's as if I had a baby that I, was nurturing and it's now graduated from university with top degrees. That's how it feels.
And I want to talk a little bit about how you got to this place, being a household name and all of the different accomplishments you've had. So, the career as dancehall queen is one. Outside of that, you've done charity, and I can call you a bit of an activist working in sex education. We're going to be going through all of these different areas. But I want to start first by talking about your upbringing, because not a lot of people necessarily know a lot about your roots. Right. You grew up in Ravinia.
Yes,
that's
Ravinia.
Close to
JC, right behind
JC.
there. Yeah.
What was the community like when you were growing up?
Well, upper middle class, kind of, snobs. No, they were real nice people. As you learn as you go along that the ghetto came later, so that wasn't the case there. A very family-oriented neighborhood. Yeah.
And your family was a big one as well, a lot of girls.
No. My family there, I have a lot of siblings, but it was just 3 of us, my 2 other sisters.
So the siblings now, overall, there's a lot of girls. 9?
Yes, 9 girls.
You're pretty close to your siblings.
Oh yes, I am very close to them.
How did your parents grow you to have that kind of relationship? What were they saying to you? What was happening?
I don't think they said anything. It was just natural where, one loved the other loved the other. And the story, you live what you learn. And so you see love being given and receiving. You don't know anything else. So that's just, I guess that's what, I kept following it, kept it there.
And let's talk a little bit about your parents themselves. So your mother, a nurse. What was your mother like?
Crazy. Fun, caring, kind. Crazy.
Why do you say crazy?
Nothing bothered her, and she wasn't strict to me. I wasn't brought up with my mom. So, the visits and stuff was just off the chain. Probably she should have been a little more serious. I don't know. Yeah.
And part of the reason you were brought up with her because she
wasn't brought up with her.
You weren't brought up with her because she was overseas.
Yes.
What was she doing?
Doing her nursing, different things, and I think they figured or thought Jamaica was the right place for children to be brought up, and so it was one there, one here. How
did she maintain that relationship with you, considering that she was living overseas?
I don't think there was any maintenance. I think whenever we got together, it's like we picked up, as if nothing happened. I was always fascinated by her, intrigued by her, and always learning because, as I said, she had a wild, fun spirit, and it was nice. So I don't think, when you're loved, by my siblings, my sisters, I have older sisters. I'm second to last of the 9. I don't think you missed anybody, or probably it's just who I am. I didn't really miss her probably in my later years, probably if my mother was with me. Yeah, but growing up, no, I had a lot.
And part of that would be, it had strong parental support in the form of your stepfather. Mm-hmm. Your biological father died when you were very young, 2 years old, I think you said.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And your stepfather, though, stepped in and helped play that kind of role. What was he like?
Excellent. He was stern, strict, but still loving and caring, and I think I was spoiled.
He was an accountant.
Yes, he was.
And you say one of the things about him was very exact about time.
Yes, yes. He says it tells a person, it tells the kind of person you are. Late is disregardful, and he thinks that time was very important. Very, very important. I would not get something or get something if I was late. So like, for instance, I was to go to a party and he says, what time am I to pick you up? And I said, 10 o'clock. If at 10 or 11, whatever the time is, I'm not there, I wouldn't get to go to the other party. And that wasn't good for me. So I would be there 5 minutes to 10. Yeah.
You've talked about the fact that, you know, very close family, and you felt very loved.
Yes.
How did your stepfather ensure? Because you don't even refer to him as your stepfather. I'm doing so
Yes.
for the purposes of the interview, but you call him your father. You call him your dad.
My dad. You know, as a child, you don't know these things. It's now that I'm an adult and doing interviews and hearing somebody else say it, you understand. I knew nothing else. I just knew that's my dad, and he loved and showed me loved. I guess it was natural. I didn't think there was... And remember, in the 70s, 80s, it's a different time from now, for me.
Oh, also.
I think the morals is not as instilled in the millennium children as it was in the 70s, 80s, and even beyond. People weren't so exposed, so it was just natural that it's love.
He was at the same time also teaching you that your word is your bond. You've said that is
Yes.
one of the very important lessons.
Very important. He says, you know what? So for instance, let's say I got in trouble at school and he would ask me first what happened. It was very important for me to tell him the truth so he would know how to defend me or not defend me or punish me or whatever the story. So he always said, listen, I need to know that what you said, this is what it is, so I can defend you. Because not all the time children are wrong, but because it's the deliverance from an adult makes it wrong. So I understood that at an early age, that just be truthful, come clean with whatever it is that happened. And I got a better result. So it was in my best interest to be truthful.
You've spoken about that sort of relationship as well with your mother. You said that she,
Yes.
you know, she was fun, you said crazy, but she was also a stern defender of you.
Yes, she was, because I think that my family recognized that I was just a different child, and that was okay. That was okay. I had a sister that I follow, Suzette, which was neat and put together, organized. I was just the crazy one. And I think being myself was important for me, but it was also great that my family allowed me to be myself.
And I want to talk a little bit about what you mean by, you know, being the crazy one. Because, and you know, long before the era of being exposed, as you say, you know, people were exposed perhaps in a different way, but we're not seeing a lot of perhaps punk rock styles, etc., etc., etc. You are doing all of that, and I want to talk about that after the break. So we're going to take a break on Profile. My guest is Carlene, the dancehall queen Smith. We are back with you right after these messages.